Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son. Okay, the one who the world ignorantly calls God, or Jehovah, or Yahweh, and so on and so forth. His true name is Yahweh. Okay, and the meaning of it is He is and He is to be, or He exists. Okay, and that's the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites. Okay. And by Hashem is in the name of Yahushua, Yahushua being the only begotten Son, all right, of the Most High Yahweh. Okay, his true name is He delivers or He deliverer, which is an omen nomen, ultimately for what he came to do and what he's coming back to do, which is to deliver the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, which is comprised of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, of course, double honors, of course, to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Just real quick, I just wanted to look at this account within the scriptures, and just look at it from of course, as we do the the whole book, all right, from Genesis to Revelation, in a spiritual sense, okay. Even though the all of the accounts, okay, that are dealing with chronological history, okay, are in fact true, okay. But like I said, I just want to look at this one instance and gather a little bit of I guess what I got from it, all through the spirit and power of the Lord, okay. And I'm gonna just start it off with Romans 15 and verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, so that through patience and comfort of the scriptures we might have hope." Okay, so these things, our forefathers recorded, as they were commanded to do. All right, these things were written by us and written for us. Okay, for us to in this day and age. Okay, because there's a mass awakening going on, and that has been taking place, ever since the 60s. Starting with the elder, all right, Abba Bivens, as it was prophesied for him to come, for him, okay, to come, or for it was Elijah to come. Once he came back on the scene, this knowledge, all through the spirit and power, Yahweh Shem Shah, started to flourish. Okay, so now that that's taken place, and we understand, and we have the correct doctrines, okay, and the correct teachings of the scriptures, okay, we're able to go back within the records, okay, and read them, and learn from them. All right, learn from our forefathers, learn from their mistakes, essentially, and by learning from their mistakes, build ourselves up. All right, build ourselves up, all through the power, okay, spirit and power of the Lord, okay, to learn and to grow, and so on and so forth. Okay, so the point I want to take a look at, because we're coming out of the feast of dedications, and you go into the Maccabees. There was a vast history, beautiful history, of certain valiant men, the Maccabees. What is that? The Hasmonean dynasty. Okay, a family of Levites, okay, of the tribe of Levi, which today would be, the so-called Haitians, okay, predominantly, and in their ventures, and in the mass amount of battles that were fought, okay. um, it was a lot of victory, but one thing I want to focus and key on today is the fall, okay, the fall of Judas, and what we can learn, from it, and what I got out of it spiritually. Okay, so I'm gonna go just directly to the account, and let's see where we at. First Maccabees 9. Actually, I think it's up a little bit. Yep, right. So straight to the point. First Maccabees 9:15. It says, "Who Let me see. This is verse 14. Now, when Judas perceived that, no, I'm gonna start right. So this is when they're going into war with Bexades. I can't pronounce this. Bexat, Bexchides or Bexedes. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but going to war. All right. And I'm gonna just read this First Maccabees 9:12. It says, as for Bacchides, it says he was in the right wing. No, I'm gonna start up. Yeah, I'm gonna start up. 11. It says, with that the host of Bacchides removed out of their tents and stood over against him, their horsemen being divided into two troops, and their slingers and archers going before the host, and they that marched in the forward were all mighty men. It says, as for Bacchides, it says he was in the right wing, so that the host drew near on the two parts and sounded their trumpets. They also of Judas's side, even they sounded their trumpets also, so that the earth shook at the noise of the armies, and the battles continued from morning to night. It says, now when Judas perceived that Bacchides and the strength of his army were on the right side, he took with him all the hardy men. It says 15, who discomfited the right wing and pursued them unto Mount Azotus. But when they of the left wing saw that they of the right wing were discomfited, they followed upon Judas and those that were with him hard at the heels from behind. Whereupon there was a sore battle, insomuch as many were slain on both parts. Verse 18, Judas also was killed, and the remnant fled. Okay? So the point, what I want to look at and what I got out of this, what I took out of this was, you know, balance, because we understand that, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. Okay? We're in a war, but it's a spiritual war. Okay, the battle, okay, or the war for our spirits, our minds, okay, our souls, so to speak. Okay, and in war, all right, there's a how shall I say, man, there's a way. Okay, there's an art to war. All right, there's an art to war. Okay, and one of the things, as you notice when we just read through, what how Judas was, basically, of course it was written, for these things to happen, but the way that he was overcome, it was just a lack of balance. Okay, because he was on the field, and when he realized, or he noticed that one side of Bacchides, one side of his troops, okay, was I guess you could say weak or falling short in manpower. He pursued after them, okay, in hopes to conquer, or win the battle, okay. But what happened was he took all the hardy men with him, okay, and by doing so he left one part of the team, okay, desolate or empty of power, man. All right. He took all his sources, took all his resources, his men power, and he put it to one side, in hopes that, that would, pretty much seal the deal with the battle they was fighting. But that was not so, because when he made the shift, there was a lack of balance, okay, in the other side of his army, and that's how they were able to come up on him and get him. All right. So understanding that and looking at it from that perspective in this spiritual war that we're fighting, I got a couple scriptures lined up. 1 Corinthians 9. Okay, let's get that. 1 Corinthians 9, right? And 25, and it says, and every man, let me see, I'll read that. I want to get straight to the point. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Okay, I'm gonna read it again. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Okay, so being temperate, and what's another word is synonymous with temperate, being temperate is balance, man. Okay, it also goes into, self-restraint and, a couple other things. But here I want to focus on balance, because when, if we're striving for the mastery, which is what, man, the mastery, first of all, mastering the faith, essentially. And of course, we know it's a gift, it's given to certain men in different proportions, okay? But still at the same time, the amount or the lot, that we were given as far as our faith is concerned, we ought to perfect that, whatever measurement that you were given, okay? And in perfecting that, in the mastery, in the ministry, okay, and ultimately the edifying, okay, of the saints, okay, the elect or the chosen of the Most High, okay, and delivering and giving the truth, okay. And that's essentially what it's all about, man, about being able to deliver the truth from each and every angle, because there are a lot. Now, granted, we are a body. We understand that we are a body. We have many members, as it's spoken, as the Apostle Paul spoke about, okay? But still, you have to carry your weight, essentially, okay? You have to carry your weight and understand that this is spiritual warfare, right? So to be able to carry your burden and do your part, okay? Essentially, I mean, it becomes balanced, and when you got everybody doing that, okay, we're able to fight this war, to be what's the word, to be uh damn, I can't think of a way to phrase it, but we're able to fight the war, at a certain pace, or at a certain mindset, where as though we're able to succeed, okay? Because we're not lacking in certain areas, and whatever we are lacking in, another brother is knowledgeable in, or the Lord is, bless that brother with, that gift, so to speak, and honing in on that gift, you do whatever type of, studying, and, so on and so forth, okay. But the point being is being temperate in all things, being balanced, because you don't want to, you don't want to be unbalanced. Okay, first of all, it's an abomination unto the Lord. First, false balance is an abomination. So, you just got to be. You always have to be aware of that, man, and always be, yeah, always be aware of that, man. Let me see. Let me see. First Peter's. Let me get one more. First Peter's, chapter 3. Yep. It says, 3:15. It says, "But sanctify the Lord power in your hearts, and be ready to always give an answer to every man that seeketh to know the reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and in fear." Okay, and it says, yeah, that's the point, man. And in order to be able to give an answer, all right, it says, always give an answer to it says to every man, okay, to every man. What is your hope? So it's going to be, men, are, of course, are going to come up to inquire or want to know, all right, and try to figure out what this thing is all about. All right, and you gotta be, man. You gotta, and like, and that's essentially, that's spiritual warfare, man. That's spiritual warfare, because what's going on is we're combating, or we're fighting doctrines. All right, we're fighting doctrines, and in the literature, or the word. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna say that. The word, which is likened unto a sword. Okay, we gotta chop it down. We gotta chop everything that everybody's coming with down. And it's. I mean, it's doable. We have the power to do it. We have we have the Lord Yahweh Yahweh Shai, okay, His doctrine, the truth, essentially. Because with the truth, I mean, the truth endures forever, okay, and it's gonna, outlast and withstand everything that's thrown at it, okay. But in order to be able to deliver it, and yeah, and basically use it, right? And you got to be temperate and balanced. You got to be balanced within all things, and within all knowledge, and even, of course, with your conduct, how you walking, which that's a whole other thing in itself, you know. But they both, they both go, hand in hand, essentially, you know. So that's the point, man. Like, within the battle, within the war, which first and foremost, the biggest war is within yourself. Okay, the biggest war, those burdens, and basically denying yourself and disciplining yourself. All right, to be able to sit down or not even sit down, but just to do what you're supposed to do. All right, but in order to do that, man, you have to be temperate. You have to be balanced within all things in order to win this war, man. You know, in order to win this war, you know. So, man, that's the point, man. So with that, all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai, and a double honor to the apostles, elders, and millstone, and peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.